This is the True American. I'm your host. I want to talk about some things that have come up on my Facebook page. And I think it's real important we bring these up because this is an important life issue, life question. And that question is about the personhood of the fetus. Is that fetus in a woman's womb? Is that a human being? If it's not a human being, sure it should be. It's okay to kill it. It's no big deal. Go ahead and kill it. Kill it all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. But what I find interesting though is that if there was a pregnant dog or cat, and people were to go up and shoot the dog or cat, or maybe put it in a bag and throw it into a river, many people would be not only upset that you killed the dog, the mother, or the cat, the mother cat, but the mother cat's kittens and the mother dog's puppies. And there's no debate or discussion about whether or not that pregnant dog or that pregnant cat is carrying life. But we have a question about that when a human being, a woman, has that fetus in her womb. Is it a human being or is it not a human being? If it's not a human being, okay, go kill it every day, all day, and twice on Sunday. But if it is a human being and you kill it through abortion, hey, it's murder. It's murder of an innocent life. And I don't care what your justification is for it. See, some people think black folk are stupid. They really do. They don't think we can intelligently think about these big life issues. They really don't. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit in this podcast, The True American. Now, my podcast, The True American, you can find them on my Facebook page, Black Conservatives for Louisville. Black Conservatives for Louisville. That's the name of the Facebook page where you find this and other True American podcasts. Here's what somebody said here. They put this on my page. They said, policies people believe will reduce abortions. And then they put underneath it, banning abortion. Then they said policies that actually reduce abortions, access to free contraceptives, comprehensive sex education, universal health care, paid family leave, welfare funding, ending housing insecurity, closing the wage gap, funding education. That's what they said. That's a lie, people. It's a lie. Absolutely no research backs that up. None. And now, if I'm wrong, let me know I'm wrong. Show me the research. Don't talk about how I'm stupid or ignorant or I'm drinking Kool-Aid or I'm a major Donald Trump fan. No, stick to the issue. Stick to the issue. Show me the research. None of this is backed up with research. None of this. None of what they said here is backed up with research. Not one bit. Nothing. And of course, this post ignores the one big question. Is the fetus in a woman a human being or not a human being? If it is not a human being, then killing it is, well, whatever. But if it is a human being, then you are taking the life of an innocent person, of a defenseless person. We call that murder. That's clearly in the Ten Commandments. Almost every major faith in the world, Judaism, Islam, Christianity, is opposed to murder. Even secular people are opposed to murder. Even secular people are opposed to murder. Now, what will happen with secular people like the Marxists and the Nazis, those kind of folk, the more secular folk, they will try to justify murder, genocide, etc. They'll try to justify it. Okay? They'll try to justify it. Like so many of these so-called pro-choice people do. They try to justify it All sorts of different ways. Oh, well, if you support abortion, then you have to support this over here, more child care and paid medical leave and things like that. No, that's an absurdity. You're avoiding the question, the fundamental question. You have to answer the fundamental question first. I had one person put on my post something about, you can't be pro-choice if you don't support the banning of some type of assault rifles. No, that's absurd. There's an elephant there in the living room, and that elephant is the question: is the fetus in that woman's womb, is it a human being? If it's not a human being, kill it. No big deal. If it is a human being, it is defenseless. It is innocent. And when you kill it, that's murder. All this other nonsense has nothing to do with the price of beef in Botswana. Policies that actually reduce abortions. No. You're avoiding the issue. You're avoiding the issue. Universal health care. Hell, these daggone abortionists consider abortion health care. Paid family leave. What do you mean paid family leave? What family you want to be paid to go leave and see? You're killing the baby. I mean, it's ridiculous. Ending housing insecurity. What does that mean? Ain't nothing but some socialist nonsense about how the government should be controlling the marketplace. That's all it is. Closing the wage gap. What does that got to do with murder? If that fetus is a human being in that woman's womb. It all goes back. That's the fundamental question. That's the elephant in the room, and that's the question they refuse to tell you. Now, let me tell you something. I used to be a former Marxist, former socialist. I know how these white folks think. I wasn't just a fellow traveler. I was deep into this Marxist movement, Marxist-Leninist movement, socialist movement. I was deep into it. I know how these white folks think. I know their arguments. I know their language. They're lying to you. They're deceiving you. Answer the fundamental question. And yes, I'm not only addressing this to my audience in general, but also some people in particular. Address that question first. Let's where do we stand on that question? Is the fetus a human being, or is the fetus not a human being? They don't want to talk about that. Here, let me read this post to you as direct quote. If you ban abortion before you ban military-style assault rifles that massacre children in schools, you've lost your right to call yourself pro-life. That's absolutely ridiculous. That's insane. That's absurd. There have been assault rifles killing black youth and young adults out there in California, these gangs, for years and years and years. These white folks didn't care about that. They didn't care about that. They weren't saying nothing about that. They weren't saying anything about banning this and banning that until some white kids got killed, murdered, slaughtered. But our youth been killed places like Los Angeles and Chicago, and now you have the growing gang problem here in Louisville, Kentucky. Man, we've been experiencing that for the longest time. No, I'm sorry, no. That dog ain't hunting. We first wanted to establish, is that fetus in the woman's womb a human being or not? If it's a human being, it's innocent, it's defenseless. Killing it is murder. And the murder of black children is disproportionate, highly disproportionate. So these white folks talking all this stuff about banning assault rifles and all, man, shut up. You're lying. You're letting us know that objectively you care nothing about what's happening to the black community. You care nothing about what is really almost like on a level of genocide. And that word, I don't want to be loose about it, but I think it might be a word we can put up here because you realize Planned Parenthood is probably the biggest provider of abortions in the United States of America. And Planned Parenthood is rooted in the ideology of white supremacy and eugenicism. It was at one time closely aligned with Nazism, Nazi ideology. Oh, you don't agree with me? You think I'm exaggerating? You're upset because Donald Trump, like that's got anything to do with it. Donald Trump and assault rifles. Oh, okay. Buy the book, Better World Books. Go to Better World Books, thriftbooks.com. Put in the search engine Killer Angel by George Grant and study and see for yourself. Study and see for yourself. Look, there are some white folks, you can't confuse me. You can't confuse me. I'm just letting you know. You can't confuse me. I'm clear. Now, we may have some disagreements here and there. That's fine. But on this issue, in protecting black lives, in protecting black children, oh no. No, you can't confuse me. You better go over there and talk to some of them other Negroes who don't want to do the research and understand the fact. This is not an opinion, the fact. Planned Parenthood, modern Planned Parenthood is rooted in white supremacists, eugenicism, Nazism. I mean, there are white people who've told me this passionately. Man, these guys are racist, man. You need to read some of this stuff. Read about their documents and read about their founder. Read where they're coming from. And then objectively see the numbers. Objectively look at the numbers. Approximately 1,600 black babies are killed by abortion daily. Folks, that's war. That's war. But you have the audacity. You got some of these black radicals, black cultural Marxists. And I'm talking about these knuckleheads right here in Louisville, Kentucky. And the way they talk about abortion. They don't care about how it's devastating the black community. Killing our babies, that's our seed. That's our future. That's our blessing. This is the True American Podcast. Again, you can go to my Facebook page, follow that. The name of that Facebook page is Black Conservatives for Louisville. And not only will you be able to hear this, and I hope you will take this podcast and share it with other people, particularly with black folk in Louisville, Kentucky, and other parts of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. You'll be able to hear this podcast and my interviews with some folks about this whole issue of abortion in the black community. This is True American Podcast, and again, you can find us on Black Conservatives for Louisville.